Ever have one of those mornings, where you open the door and you're like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Today's deep dive is about a woman out in Washington State who got a lot more than the morning paper, let me tell you.
Yeah. Sounds rough.
We're talking, get this, 100
It's
raccoons.
100 raccoons?
A
Oh,
hundred,
yeah.
like something out of a cartoon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's a real story and a good reminder, I think, that well, how we interact with the natural world can have some pretty crazy consequences.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We dug up this news report from NBC affiliate, I think it was KUSA,
Okay.
and well, this lady out in Poulsbo, Washington, she had been feeding raccoons
Okay.
for 35 years.
Oh, wow.
35 years. At a certain point, it stopped being a couple of cute critters coming up on the porch
Yeah.
and became, well, a full-blown raccoon convention.
Yeah. Can't imagine.
Like she couldn't even leave her house for all the raccoons.
Wow.
So I don't know what goes through someone's mind, when they're facing down like 100 raccoons. What would you even do?
I wouldn't even know where to start. Well, I mean, first you have to think about how it even gets to that point, right?
Yeah.
Like for her and for the raccoons, like over time when you feed wild animals, their natural instincts start to get messed up, like they're not out there foraging for food. They're not like using their natural instincts to find all these different food sources. They're getting used to this easy meal from a human.
Right. It's not even just that they get used to people, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
aren't there some health risks, too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like leptospirosis is one. It's a bacterial disease that raccoons can carry. And, their urine can contaminate water. And if we come in contact with that, then we can get infected.
Right, right.
And then, of course, there's also, let me see if I can pronounce this, Balasiscaris procyonis.
Say that 5 times fast.
I know, right? But it's a type of roundworm that's found in raccoon droppings. And it can cause neurological problems, especially in kids.
See, that's the thing. You forget all that when you just see the little bandit mask.
Yeah.
Like, remember that video of the raccoon that got loose during the soccer game?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
100 raccoons, though.
Yeah.
Not so funny. Especially if you're her neighbor.
I was just thinking that. I mean, can you imagine being her neighbor?
Yeah.
The article mentioned that some of the neighbors had actually been complaining about raccoons biting their dogs,
Oh, no.
even to the point where they had to take their dogs to the vet, which, that's awful, but it just shows you how this kind of throws everything off balance. When you have one species, like raccoons in this case, you get too many of them, it can impact the whole neighborhood, from like the birds and insects to, yeah, our pets too.
It's wild how connected it all is when you really stop and think about it.
It really is.
But, so this might be my favorite part of the story. Get this. The quote, she got to get these raccoons removed. $50,000.
Wow. You're kidding me?
That's an expensive takeout order.
Yeah. Yeah, but it really makes you think, though, because there are actually people who, like, that's their job. They specialize in this kind of thing, dealing with situations exactly like this. And, they use humane ways to trap and relocate the animals. And they often will, talk to people about how to, like, coexist with wildlife, what to do, what not to do, that kind of thing.
So for anyone listening who's maybe thinking, it's just one little snack for the little raccoon family. What's the big takeaway here? Don't feed the raccoons.
Basically, yeah. It might seem harmless, even nice, right? But it can really have consequences for the animals, for our communities, our own backyard. So yeah, just admire them from afar.
Easier said than done when you've got 100 of them on your porch, I guess. Makes you wonder, what would you do if you opened your door and saw that? Hopefully none of us will ever have to find out. But it really shows, how we have to understand the impact even our small actions have on the environment.
I agree, yeah.
Even a small thing can make a big difference. All right, well, on that note, I think we're about out of time for this deep dive.